For Off the Block, I'm Vinny Lipson. We are now joined by the new interim head coach of the Quincy men's volleyball team, Bob Crink. And Coach, a little bit of an interesting week for you, getting moved into this interim position for you. You're the women's volleyball coach at the school, taking over the men's team for the rest of the season. Have to ask, what's your goals for the season with the men's volleyball team, with there being about, 2 months left in the season?
Well, the men have 13 matches left. My goal is really just to try to manage the season to be as competitive and win as many of these 13 matches we've got remaining in the season.
Yeah. And, looking at your team, I know that you just got done with a practice. I don't know how much time you've had to spend with them, but, what's one or two positives that you've seen from them in the couple practices that you've had?
Well, sure. As a coach here, I've had an opportunity to watch them play in matches, so I've had some exposure to seeing at least the starters and seeing the style of play. But being in the practice gym with them, you get a better sense of the overall team dynamic. And there really is a lot of talent on this team. There's obviously some youth here, but there's actually a lot. There's a lot to build on. So I'm kind of excited for the future of the program, considering we're graduating. One of our best players with Jared Kelso out of the middle, obviously graduating this year, but we're returning a lot of kids. So even though it's not my program, I'm just helping manage the rest of the season. Whoever we hire to come in and take this over, they should be pretty excited about the depth and youth that they've got coming back.
Yeah, and I do want to ask, because like I said, kind of thrown into a little bit of a unique situation. With that being said, how much are you relying on the assistant coaches and graduate assistant coaches?
Yeah, I think that we've got a graduate assistant with Gavin Mueller, and we've got two volunteer assistants with Denny Sinnock and Steve Battaglia, and they've got a really good pulse of the team and a good idea what's going on. They've been incredibly helpful. Like I said, I've got an idea of what they've been working on. I've been able to watch a lot of their matches. So, I played men's volleyball at Missouri Baptist University, and I coached some club in St. Louis when I was with High Performance Volleyball Club. So, it's not that I'm illiterate to men's volleyball. I've got some good exposure there, but yeah, really leaning on the staff that we have here to make sure I understand where everybody's coming from, and kind of picking up the reins and taking it from there.
And Coach, obviously, Coach Hedley Foster leaving. Don't want to ask you, specifically why you left, but I do want to ask, how surprised were you when you took when you found out the news on Monday?
Well, obviously it was, you get a call from the AD on Monday morning, and it was kind of a shock to me. I didn't, I'm not the athletic director. I'm not really there every day at every practice for the men's team. I just kind of watch some of their matches, and I actually was the PA announcer for most of the men's matches, so I really only saw matches. I didn't know what was going on behind the curtain. So, it's always kind of it was, at least for me, it was a very interesting phone call on Monday morning, getting called into the AD's office and kind of asked if I'd be able and willing to do this. So, I'm not the administrator. I'm not the athletic director. I don't know what goes on behind those doors, and I don't want to be an athletic director. So I let Marty Bell do his job, and his job was calling me on Monday morning and asking me if I could step in, and so now my job is just to try to manage the season to the best of my ability and try to help these guys win as many of the remaining 13 matches as they have.
Yeah. And what do you feel has been the overall mood of the players, this week after hearing the news?
Well, I think they're handling it pretty well. That was my big message on Monday afternoon when we had our first player meeting. My big message was we move forward. We're, regardless of our opinions, our feelings, our thoughts, we still have season left. We've got work to do. That's my big message. I don't want to discount anybody's opinions or discount anyone's feelings, but our job right now is to focus on the season that we have remaining and to play as competitively and as unified as possible moving forward. And I think the guys are doing a pretty good job. Monday was going to be an awkward day for everybody, no matter what we did, no matter how we handled it. But Tuesday and yesterday's practice and today's practice were really productive, and I think everybody was really engaged and focused. So, I'm excited for Loyola tomorrow and Lewis on Saturday, and I think the guys are too.
All right, Coach, and one final question here before we let you go. They're going to be doing a national coaching search at the end of the season, so obviously a bit of time of change for the program. But what would be your message to the Quincy men's volleyball fans and alumni?
Just that I'm excited for the program. I think, again, there's a lot of depth, there's a lot of youth, there's a lot of talent returning. So I think anybody looking at this program should be excited about what's coming up and the young kids that we have and how they're going to develop. Obviously, I'm trying to help as much as I can with the recruiting at this point, but I'm just excited for the program to continue. There's been no plan to cut it, so I'm excited for the future and how this is going to continue to grow.